about life and recovery.
And so much more.
And a little bit more.
A little bit more.
I just want to comment on your jug.
My new water bottle.
You're calling it a water bottle. I don't know have you ever been to a gym? Like workout gym?
I think once.
You've heard about them.
Maybe twice.
Okay.
Someone took me on their free pass.
So the gym is an interesting collage of cultural and social.
The gym is interesting.
It's like an aquarium of people. And so there is one set of people that bring a water bottle, but it's the size of like a cake. And it's like this big, and they cart it around just like you. But it's like 4 times bigger than it must be like 4 liters. Probably. Like, have you ever seen such a thing?
Yeah.
I don't know what's in it. I've never asked. I'm doubtful that it's just water.
Sure is.
Or maybe it's like their water for the day, and they just cart it around wherever they go. But I don't see people carting around jugs of water.
No, that's what they do.
That's what they do. Okay. Because you were saying how important water is, and you were giving me the male and female intake suggested per day.
Something like
the male was 4 liters.
No, under that. And that's like entirely. That includes like the amount of water that you're getting from your food also.
It just seems like a lot.
Yeah, but you don't have to overwhelm yourself with that. Just
today, I'm not going to be overwhelmed with drinking 4 liters of water. I've already drank 1 liter.
It's decent.
It is. And then women are supposed to drink 3 liters.
Something like that.
And that is 1 liter.
But it was like 2.7, and it depends on body, and it depends on.
There's a lot of factors.
Yeah. And your food is included.
20%.
Like you're gonna get some food. You're gonna get
food
some
moisture.
Yeah.
Right on. How much water do you drink? And like I drink enough water, and then I just pee it out. So I'm like, is there any point to this? Or is that the point?
That's the point.
It's like flushing me out.
That's the whole point.
Okay. Well, that feels good. Well, we are going to do a contemplative meditation. We're going to take an idea out of this book and roll around with it, and then take it throughout the day. And hopefully God will speak to you in your meditation time about this. So it is September the 6th. I saw the little children standing at the corner waiting for their buses. It is school day today. Some of you have already been to school last week, but for the, I think it's the English school. English?
Do you think that some of our viewers go to school and they were at
school
school
I bet
week?
Some of their kids have and will and are. Smarty pants, drink your water.
Our audience is now grade 6.
I think you need some more water. Hey, squirrel.
All right. Look. Have I been trying to live the fellowship, the program? This is an Al-Anon book. So this is saying, have I been trying to live the Al-Anon program, which is the Families of Alcoholics? Then I must surely be learning to overcome my tendency to control others. The directing, scheming, and manipulating that can only result in my own defeat. I will not interfere with the activities of the alcoholic or watch over them, counsel them, or assume their responsibilities. They must have the same freedom to make their own decisions as I have, since they must suffer for them if they are wrong. Perhaps I have felt I have a right and an obligation to set the standards for the family and compel those around me to live up to them. In the program, we learn a better way. Here is a vivid picture from the great novelist Tolstoy, which makes the situation clear. I sit on a man's back, choking him and making him carry me, and yet assure myself and others that I am very sorry for him and wish to ease his lot by all possible means, except by getting off his back. Quote for today.
That's a good picture.
Teach me to leave to others their inborn right to dignity and independence, as I wish to have them leave mine to me.
Mine to me. And I think by living the program, which means the program is to connect my spirit to God's spirit. And so now I'm living out of God's spirit of peace and kindness and joy and love and mercy and all of those things. I can let God do his job, and I don't have to do God's job where I think because I put an expectation on people, I have obligations. I create, I I create the drama and the theater, and I have to be in control, and I have rights and they have rights, and I'm making sure that everybody is getting their rights met and their obligations met, and isn't trying to change somebody playing God, or isn't somebody, when I'm trying to change somebody for the best of what I think is best to make them a little bit more like me, isn't that playing God?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
It's true. It's true. I think it's interesting because this morning I was doing my quiet time. In my quiet time, I was reflecting on my disappointments. And the goal was to invite God into my disappointments and just really to express them and offer them to God. And even the little disappointments, because so much of our frustration in life or our bitterness comes from this buildup of these tiny little disappointments. And I think that by the time we get to this place of trying to control the alcoholic in our life, whether that be a partner or a child or whatever, or whether they're alcoholic or whether they're just my partner and my child and I'm trying to control them, maybe they're not even alcoholic. But by the time I get to that place where I am trying to direct and scheme and manipulate others to do what I think they need to do, and by that point, I have had so many disappointments build up in my life that often I don't know how to get past them. And so I thought,
and so then does disappointment build fear and resentment?
For sure. So this morning, I just wrote them out. I just had an opportunity to just write out, like, what are some of, even seemingly small disappointments that I felt sad about or hurt about, or, and some of them had to do with me, some of them had to do with God, some of them had to do with others, or even just, not even necessarily that others would have even been aware of it. Like, it's not anything that they could have done differently, but just to like write those things out and to know that God actually cares, and then I can invite God into that. And then, the goal being that I can release them.
And I love the picture of, like, that is total enmeshment, is when you're riding my back and you're doing everything and guiding me and leading me, and I'm bearing your weight, and then you're like choking me because you're holding on for dear life. Like, that is like the picture of enmeshment. So how do I actually help I get off you? And so it's actually saying suffering the consequences of our own actions is actually more helpful than not in this scenario, I believe, of adulting and then in addiction and leading them into recovery.
So I was thinking that getting off their back is like a start of that process, is to recognize, admit, and release my disappointments.
But if you're in the UFC, that's rear naked mount, and then you choke and tap out. In that scenario, don't get off. Sorry, I got distracted. Carry on. That's it. If you're in the UFC, great position. If you're in a relationship, not so great. Dismount, stand back, let the person go. All right, keep the peace, be of good behavior. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. I'm golfing tomorrow, so maybe we'll see you at the noon meeting. Are you running it? Who's speaking? It's already Tuesday. I feel like we missed it. Who's speaking tomorrow? I have to check the calendar.
I have to check the calendar.
All right. We will see you sometime later this week.
Bye. Have a great day.